What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
Man, oh man, we got another brand new episode for everybody. Episode 131. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Just trying to adjust to this weather. It was like 70 degrees a few days ago, and now it's like 50. Then I think it's going to be like another 70 either tomorrow or the next day, and then it's going to be back down to 50. This weather's bipolar. You're Jackie.
Yeah, it's kind of that time of year in the Northeast where it could go, it could be 30 or it could be 80. You just never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, man. It's damn weather need to make up its mind, man.
Nope.
Because it's like one day I have the AC on, one day I take it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like now I just got the windows open. It's just a nice little breeze. But the other day I had the AC on. I was trying to like fight it, but I was like, nah, it's too hot, man.
Yeah. I've been going heat in the morning, AC at night.
Yeah, man, just messing up my Con Ed bill, man. But I mean, let's get right into it, man. I mean, this week wasn't too much. We kick it off with the NFL since it wasn't too much. They're pretty much just getting ready for the draft. Mock drafts are out now. They're still trying to decide who's going to be the number one quarterback off the board. I'm not gonna lie, man. I hope Richardson to Carolina, man.
Yeah, it's sounding more and more like it's going to be Bryce Young. Bryce Young going one. At least that was the latest that I heard down here from the local folk. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we had three QBs go top three. I think we might see some movement in this in the draft here.
Yeah, either top three or top four, depending on what the Cardinals do. But I feel like they're gonna do something stupid and
they are good at that.
Just pick something at that position, or I don't feel like they're gonna do anything smart at that spot.
No, I don't think so.
But I'm also interested to see if some of these other teams that made a bunch of moves during the free agency, such as the Falcons. The Lions got 2 picks. The Bears are at 9. So there's a lot of teams that made some new acquisitions as far as, getting their quarterback some help or, building out their roster. Because those teams are kind of like on the brink of trying to get into not being in the playoffs to try to get in the playoffs. So it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, the Eagles at number 10. I don't know they're so lucky, man. I mean,
I know.
He goes to the Super Bowl. You got a top 10 pick waiting for you. Your quarterback just resigned. How are you feeling about the new deal he got, that Hurts got?
It was good. I think it's probably good for both sides. I felt like that the Eagles kind of got out ahead of it, and there's some potential big contracts coming up here with Burrow, obviously Lamar. We know the story there. Justin Herbert. So I felt like the Eagles did a good job. He was an MVP candidate last year. He was Super Bowl. He played in the Super Bowl, played well, carried the big load in the Super Bowl. So yeah, I mean, I think that for 5 years and 180 million guaranteed. Unfortunately, it's the going rate. Not unfortunately, fortunately for them.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, you'll look probably a couple of years down the road. And the contracts will be still going up, and you'll be like, that's kind of when you look at it and say, was it a deal or did somebody lose? Because I know when we first saw the Patrick Mahomes deal, everyone was like, beside themselves. Now you look at the Mahomes deal, and it's like, well, it kind of looks like a deal right now.
Oh yeah, because a lot of people are trying to get these cap friendly deals. And then the thing is that, especially with quarterbacks, you want to get them signed now rather than later, because
that number keeps going up.
Yep, that number's going to keep going up because I'm sure, even though Mahomes got that big deal, I'm sure once the Burrow deal comes out, he's going to be looking to re-up on or get an extension on his deal, so he'll get a restructure. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If Burrow's going to be above the 250 guaranteed or below the 250 guaranteed.
Yeah, his is going to set the market, I think, again, because I think he's more of the traditional type quarterback, not as much of a Jalen Hurts kind of running and passing. And he's obviously been successful, been to a Super Bowl, been on some playoff runs already. So his is the one I think that's going to be the big one.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
And then I mean, outside of that, we're still waiting on this Rodgers trade, man.
Yeah, I was reading Ian Rappaport today, and he seemed to think that it's a done deal, and we'll hear by the draft next week.
Yes, I know that's good for you guys.
I mean, to be honest, as long as he's there in whatever June or July, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
to get some work in with the guys, I'm that's fine with me. I don't, guys been in the league long enough. I'm sure he can pick up an offense.
Oh yeah, I mean they got his offensive coordinator from Green Bay, so I mean
Exactly.
it's not gonna be too much of a learning curve as far as him trying to learn that offense.
No,
So
it's just all about getting used to the guys around you.
yeah, so it's mainly gonna be about Chuck just beat Kenny to the board. But yeah, mainly about the him building chemistry with those other guys, learning their catch patterns, route patterns. But it's gonna be fun to watch, man, because I mean, you guys on the brink of taking over the division. I know it's been a while. You guys are trying to get in the playoffs. I think you'll definitely be in the playoffs. But the main thing for you is you want to be on top of that division, so you guys get home field throughout, or you don't have to go too many play too many other teams on the road. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would feel much better to have this deal be done, and him get in there with the team, and yeah, because then you hear the rumors flying around about D Hop, and he might want to pair up with Rodgers.
Yeah.
So but they're obviously not doing anything until
Rodgers gets there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And D Hop's gonna have to get a restructured deal because I don't think you guys want to pay him $30 million.
Yeah, no, that would have to be a total restructure. It's going to be restructures all over the place if they when they do the Rodgers one, because he's 58.3, so they're just going to be restructures. The cap is such a freaking joke. Did you look at that Odell contract, by the way? I know we didn't.
Yeah, I saw.
About that.
Yeah, so he got the it was like 15 mil pretty much up front.
Yeah, so he gets the signing bonus, and then they get to spread out the cap hit over 5 years.
Yes, yeah.
So basically, his cap hit is like $3 or $4 million over 5 years.
And so then
it's such a joke.
Even the incentives he got was kind of funny. It was like if he gets like over 40 catches or over 30 catches, he gets like another 250. So pretty much like if he comes in and does what he needs to do, then he's pretty much going to get like at least 2.5 of that $3 million that they got on the table. So
like it. And he just has to lead the team in receptions too. I think he doesn't even have to hit the receptions mark.
Yeah, it was one of them. It was like each one is like different. One was for like 30 catches. One was for like 40. There's one for like if he leads the team in receptions. One was for like 400 to 600 yards. There's one for like a 700-yard one. I think there's one for like the Pro Bowl. There's like over 1,000-yard one. So, but like I said, if he comes in and he doesn't really gotta be himself, so to say.
Right.
But if he comes in, I mean, freaking what's the name? Brown had 1,000 yards as a freaking Raven, so it could easily be done.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I don't think there was anything else in the NFL. And then on to the NBA, man. This is what we're here for right now. NBA playoffs. We had some round one matchups. I mean, we got the Nets playing the 76ers. 76ers are up 2-0 in the series. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty much over, man. I don't think the Nets are kind of like in the games, but they just can't, pull away with it.
If they couldn't win last night's game, I mean, Harden and Embiid were awful.
Yeah.
The 76ers overall played terrible.
Well, yeah.
And they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's what I said. This series is pretty much over. I mean, last night was the opportunity to strike, but they just couldn't get it done, man. They kind of need some more pieces. Can't only be Bridges or Cam Johnson. So they're going to need somebody inside to help them do some damage, and then possibly a point guard to run that system. So hopefully they can get some players in the draft. They got a lot of other young pieces on the team. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but the Kyle Kuzma, Spencer Dinwiddie beef that's going on. Basically, like Dinwiddie was calling Kuzma out for getting a contract or getting paid or whatever he's going to do. I think he's due a contract either next year or something. And basically,
Oh yeah, on Twitter, yeah.
Kuzma called him was like, you ain't done shit, and then called him Spencer Din Shitty.
These Twitter wars are hilarious, man.
Dude, he has like a whole thread on it. It is so funny. And it's just all facts about Dinwiddie. And it's just, it's hilarious.
Man, I love the spiciness when players are going at it. Because it also shows you how players feel about other players in the league. So, I hope some more players get involved in it. We see it sometimes as well, like when your boy Pat Beverly gets in the mix with some people, and he's fun to watch on there too as well.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing about Philly, man. I mean, they're just so inconsistent. I can't see them winning in the next round. So,
and
then currently right now we got the Celtics. They're about to wrap up on the Hawks. About to be up 2-0. This is another series pretty much done. I kind of feel like Trae Young needs help. They kind of have a roster that's kind of built kind of funny. They got a bunch of players pretty much that just stand around and watch Trae Young dribble. Then they watch him and Clint Capella do a pick and roll, and he throws up the lob to Clint Capella while everybody else is standing around. But ultimately, they're going to need some players that's going to play defense. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see if he looks to be traded or if they look to make some moves and move some of those other pieces.
Who, Trae?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they probably try to retool a little bit. Yeah, it's just a kind of a weird built team. You kind of got DeJounte Murray, who's a really good player, but kind of also is
same position.
Trae Young.
Yeah.
And then you got like four forward center guys. You got Okonkwo, Capella, and that's another guy down there. And then you got kind of Bogdanovich. It's I think he's a good complement guy, but I don't know. I just feel like they don't have that second real wing
score
guy.
Yeah. I said maybe if you took Brooklyn and put Atlanta and you mashed them together, I think they would be a better team. I feel like they have pieces that each other's missing, but with Bridges scoring over 20, 25, 26 points a game, they're not letting them go anywhere. So
yep.
So you guys would have the winner of which game?
Philly.
The Philly? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting matchup as well. I mean, I think you'll pretty much give a gentleman's sweep to Philly, but it's going to be fun to watch just to see if Embiid could do anything.
Yeah. They've certainly had Philly's number over the years, and to be honest, Doc hasn't been that good in the playoffs in a long time.
Yeah.
And we all know playoff Harden when he shows up. But yeah, I mean, so the only thing that's scary about it is that Philly really has these demons to exercise. So you're almost a little concerned about that, right? Like they've just been beaten down by the Celtics so many times.
I think they're gonna snap this one time.
I don't think that they are, but it's just that thing in the back of your head, right?
Oh yeah, I think you always have to be prepared about that. You can't go into the series lighthearted and expect them to lie down.
Oh no, and
die.
I don't. There'll be no these. I feel like this Celtics team doesn't take anything lightheartedly, which is good, and I think that comes from the coach. He's obviously wants to put daggers through hearts and kill these teams. So that won't be a problem. It's more just does Embiid have enough willpower to not even help, just does he have enough of it to get through a 7-game series? I don't know if he does.
Yeah, that thing I don't know if he does, and then I don't know if the help around him does to be consistent to win 4 games. Because the first game, everybody's hitting threes. Second game, him and Harden are off. So I mean, we're going to see what happens. Once they get past Brooklyn and get to you guys. Because I mean, the Celtics are a great defensive team. You guys are going to put a lot of different looks at Embiid as well as Harden to get them frustrated. And then there's not really many other pieces they got on the team besides Maxey, and that's pretty much it. But
right.
And then we got my Knicks, man, again smacked up right now against Cleveland. But I mean, they did take the first game. They didn't do what they needed to do. I kind of wish they tighten it up and not settle for that one game road win. But
you flip the home court advantage, which is what
Yeah.
you want to split. You want to split if you're the road team coming in that first 2 games. You want to split and go back to New York and take care of business, right? So if you win your home games, your 3 home games, you win the series.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, man, I'm seeing a lot of kinks in the armor. In this Cleveland series.
Sure.
Whether I know Randall's still kind of coming off the bum ankle, but he just doesn't make good decisions at times, man. Sometimes it's like he's kind of like ball hoggish, where he's like, "Yo, like pass the ball, man. Like, what are you doing?" And then in the same instance, your boy RJ just doesn't show up at times, kind of gets lost in the mix. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was salivating after the first game because the fact that we could have had Brunson and freaking Donovan Mitchell on the same team, that would have been freaking amazing. I think it's going to be interesting to see how those other pieces outside of Brunson show up for the rest of the series as well if they get into the next round.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we had the Lakers versus the Grizzlies. Lakers kind of caught a break with your boy Ja Morant, hurting his wrist. But I think there's going to be a back and forth series between these two teams if Ja Morant comes back healthy.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just a bruise. Luckily for Memphis and Ja. Yeah, I mean Ja's got to stop trying to jump over people. Like it's just not conducive to staying healthy. He doesn't need to do it. He tried it again, landed on his wrist. It's just nothing good comes from jumping over guys. It's cool, the first couple of times you do it, but now it's like, all right, now you're a perennial playoff contender, and a top seed in the West. You gotta be smarter about doing things like that. So, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of interested to see how this series plays out now. I mean, Jaren Jackson was awesome in that game, and like you said, they kind of fell apart towards the end when Ja got hurt. It did seem like the Lakers were getting every call, every bounce, everything was going their way. But yeah, I mean, if Austin Reeves and Rai Hachimura play like they did,
like semi all-stars.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Memphis to beat them.
Oh yeah, that's the thing for the Lakers. They need all the other pieces to be working, so to say.
They gotta play perfect. They gotta play perfect basketball, I think.
Yeah, but I also think towards as far as like the end goal, right, is for LeBron to do as less as possible until they can like get to the West Finals or one of those important games where he can just turn it on, because he's gonna be you don't want him to burn out before you even get to those games.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think they play tomorrow night, so it's gonna be looking for interesting to see on that Ja Morant injury.
Yep.
To see if they said the X-rays were negative, but I wonder if he'll be like in a little like wrist bandage or something like that.
Yeah.
Or how much it really is going to affect him. He needs to mix it up and start shooting. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we had your other team in LA, man. Your boy came back, the Terminator. Your boy Kawhi, showing us he's still alive, man. Came over and shut Phoenix down. I think this is going to be a great series, a interesting series as well, a good one. Just between the fact of the two players of Kevin Durant versus Kawhi, and then the Westbrook factor, because he's going to be a tense. He actually played good last game.
No, he didn't. He played like garbage.
Well, he had the block towards the end of the game.
He had one good play.
Well,
dude, he was so bad.
He wasn't that bad. He had the block.
He was really bad. Kawhi was pulling the ball out of his hand. No, he was awful. He made that one good play. He made 2 good plays at the end of the game, and it kind of erased. I think he was at one point was like 2 for 12 from the field and was just like still hucking it up. Kawhi basically had to go pull the ball out of his hand. Like, stop. Give me the ball.
So Kawhi saved the day. Kept him from losing the game.
Yeah,
so
I watched a lot. I watched a lot of the second half of that game, and it was just like I just kept going like, what is he doing? Like he still thinks he's like a superstar, but he's not. He's not. He's still athletic, that's for sure. But man, he's just not good at basketball anymore.
Well, I don't know. I don't say good or bad. Maybe I think it's just his shot. His shot is just so like I feel like he jumps straight up as high as he can, and then
Yeah,
he like shoots. Then he shoots the ball in like his like straightforward form.
it's weird.
But I mean, he's got to also do more on the other areas outside of scoring as far as assists
Yeah,
and getting rebounds. I think that's going to be the most beneficial thing he can do for his team outside of scoring. But he has to be aggressive as far as like going to the hole. But I mean, he's missing a lot of shots, man, and he has to limit the
so many shots.
he has to limit the turnovers because that hurts him as well.
He was 3 for 19 from the field and 1 for 6 for three. His only had 2 turnovers, but yeah, I mean it was painful to watch him on the offensive side of the ball. I think he can still be a decent defender. Obviously, he's good with the help defense. We saw that at the end of the game. But man, yeah, if I'm Kawhi, I'm like, dude, like get yourself under control. No way, no way he's taking 19 shots in a game.
Nah, well the thing is, if you if you at one point if you like I want to say I think he was like 2 for 16 or something before he hit that three in the corner. I mean, you got to do something, man. Like you can't be doing the same old. You know your shot's not falling. But I mean, Kawhi's gonna be Kawhi. That's gonna be the one solid piece. He's gonna be he's gonna play offense and defense on both sides. You know, he's gonna be on both sides of the ball. So you just gotta get him to show up, and then well not him, but like Westbrook to show up, and some of the other pieces they had. So and Zubac's been playing great for them too. He's like nullifying Ayton.
Yeah,
I can't believe Ayton is. He's just so like nonchalant. Like
he actually looked decent in that game. I thought he has that little like jump hook in the paint that's decent, but yeah, he just like doesn't play like a big guy. He doesn't play around the rim.
Yeah, only time he scores is like when him and Chris Paul running a pick and roll, and then your boy Chris Paul, man, he just I feel like he's done, man. He ain't got it no more, man. He on his gas tank is on E, man.
He looked old. He looked old the other night. Because I felt like there was a couple plays down the stretch where he used to just hit these little pull up 15, 16 footers. He wasn't even close, and then he stopped taking them, and I was just like something. It just didn't seem like a Chris Paul. Like the Chris Paul that we had seen in the past. I think he's 39.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say at one point he was like the defensive team, led the league in assists, averaging about 20 points a game. He took his team to the freaking West Finals. With him, David West, and who else was Stojakovic on that team? Or yeah, I think him, Stojakovic, David West, and then they ran against Tim Duncan and them boys, so. It wasn't much he could do on that.
Right.
And then we got Milwaukee versus the Heat. Your boy Giannis got hurt, so probably gonna be out this second game as well. So I mean, the Heat gotta take advantage and get up on the Bucks before Giannis could recoup.
Yeah. The back shot looked pretty painful, and those aren't easy. Easy to come out of either. So it looks like he'll be out tomorrow. Luckily for them, they had a kind of a nice little layoff between game 1 and 2, gave them a little more time. But yeah, it's really that whole series. Obviously, any hope that Milwaukee has kind of hinges on Giannis. I mean, they could probably survive a game or two, but I also think that I would say typical 8 seed. Obviously they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and you never know what's going to happen with playoff Jimmy and Bam and that squad there. So. You see what happens here with Giannis, and just kind of got to play it by ear.
Oh yeah, but I think the fact that Hero's out is going to be interesting as well. Yeah, because I feel like the Bucks can still win a game, against the Heat without Giannis, just because Drew Holiday, Middleton. I mean, they got the pieces. So then we got the Nuggets and the T-Wolves. I mean, just pull out the brooms on this one. This series is going to be over in 4. Nuggets is just too much for the T-Wolves. Your boy freaking Joker he only played 28 minutes. He had like almost a triple-double. He had like 14, 13, and I forgot how many assists he had. But I mean, if they can win with him resting, I mean, that's gonna be great for them come the next series and the next, because they're looking to make a run and get deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, they look good. Jamal Murray obviously looks like he's rounding back into shape here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, yeah. I think that should be a 4, no more than 5 game series, and they'll be moving on to the who they play. They play the winner of the Clippers.
Spurs, yeah. So that's going to be an interesting matchup too in that next round, especially if it's the Suns or the Clippers. So
Yep. Yeah, it's almost like you wish you could kind of fast forward a couple of these series where it's like the Celtics, like you know what I mean, like that one, like the Nuggets series. Actually, that's really about it. The other ones have been decent.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. You never know what can happen. A player could get injured. The series can turn left, and all of a sudden, the team we thought that was being counted out, they're right back in it.
Yeah. The other one I was thinking about 76ers. Just let's put the 76ers and the Celtics in that second round matchup and get this thing moving.
Yeah. There's a few of the games you wish you can, or series you wish you can skip, or rechange your opponent.
You're right though. I mean, one injury kind of like can change everything.
As I said, for some of these teams, especially like the Lakers, or if AD goes out or LeBron goes out, on the Knicks side, you got Brunson, God forbid, on the Celtics side, Brown. I think you'll be fine even if Brown was out, but if Tatum was out, I feel like you would be fine with one out. But I mean, for some of these other teams that don't have two, go-to players, or I think that's where you're gonna see the big difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the Golden State Warriors, man, versus the Kings. Neither of these teams are playing defense, but they freaking scoring the ball. Kings got the 2-0 lead on them. I mean, I really didn't. This is not something I didn't expect, just because of the fact that Golden State has been terrible on the road. If they could play a lick of defense, they could have won that first game. But it can't. Also, Wiggins had a shot towards the end, that he missed. But it was his first game back, so you can't fault him for that. He's definitely going to make those shots. As he gets his feet under him. But I mean, the Kings are no joke, man. Between Fox and Malik Monk might be the sixth man of the year. Your boy Sabonis out there rebounding his ass off. Then they got a bunch of ancillary pieces that are giving them about like 8 to 10 points a game between Murray, your boy Harrison Barnes. He caught a poster on freaking Klay Thompson last game too. So it's going to be fun to watch, man, between the series. And, the head coach Brown, we got the coach of the year. He was on their coaching staff, the Warriors coaching staff last year, so he pretty much knows what they like to do. They're doing a great job of, denying Steph the ball at times, making him get uncomfortable. But, I mean, Steph is still going to get his. It's just about those other pieces on the Warriors.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Wiggins was put back in the starting lineup. It seemed like Jordan Poole was fighting off a little bit of an injury. They have to be able to play defense. They got to make a stop. Game one, they like you said, they probably should have won that game if they make a stop, or if Wiggins hits that three. But yeah, it's I think my guess is they go back to Golden State and win 2. So we come out of that 2-2. But if Kings can steal one out there, I'd say the series is probably over.
Oh yeah.
And De'Aaron Fox has been awesome. It's a fun team to watch. And Mike Brown, has that kind of that explosive offense mindset. Not really overly concerned on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, excited to see how the last couple of games here. If Clay and Curry can get going. And what were your thoughts on the Draymond?
Step
stomping incident, quote unquote stomping.
Yeah, man. I feel like every game is going to be something with him.
Oh,
just because he's kind of like that old school mentality, and in today's NBA, you can't do that type of stuff.
Yeah, that one wasn't that bad to me. I just felt like, why is Sabonis holding onto his leg? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like because of the way Draymond plays, people are gonna step over that, like teeter on that line in order for him to do something that he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, no, I got you. I see what you're saying. But yeah, I didn't. I read it first before I actually watched it. When I watched it, I was like, that's all he did. Like the freaking Sabonis wouldn't let his leg go, and once
Yeah.
he realized he was on his chest, you could see him quickly jump off.
hmm
So I guess it is what it is. But doesn't sound like he's gonna get suspended. Probably get some sort of fine and
Oh yeah.
move on.
Oh yeah, definitely. But between Draymond and freaking Dylan Brooks, I don't know who's worse.
True.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Dylan Brooks just straight up like hits people. But
He's kind of an asshole.
so yeah. But I mean, it's they're both very entertaining to watch just to see what they do. And then, teams are gonna test them and try to get under the skin and give them little cheap shots here and there. But and the refs gonna have their eyes open on kind of those players. It's kind of like what you call like the troublemaker, like people that are known for causing trouble. And when somebody, they try to take the good path, but somebody does something to them, they snap, and they're the ones that get caught first. So,
for sure.
and then another NBA news. That was really it. I saw your boy Bronny in this freaking Fast and Furious commercial.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, man. They have him in a new Fast and Furious commercial. Talk about, that's their logo for Fast and Furious. Talk about family, passing on the torch. They got him doing some dribbling moves and then getting into a car with the King logo on it. So,
okay.
I mean, he's getting all these NIL deals before he even plays basketball. This is great.
Not
This
that
is good.
not that he needs the money.
No, it doesn't. But I think that's the fascinating part about now about this name, image, and likeness deals that people have now. So
yeah, no, I agree.
It just makes you think like, man, I was born in the wrong generation sometimes.
Totally.
Shit, I could have been on a Chick-fil-A commercial as a kid. Could have got me on something, man. And then on to MLB. Not too much here. I mean, Rays finally get beaten. They're 14-3 now. Yankees not too far behind them. They're 10-6. I don't think there was anything else outside. I mean, it wasn't really any like major news.
Baseball? No, kind of.
No.
Other than the Rays, 13-0 to start the season. They finally lost 2 games over the weekend to the Blue Jays, but I think they won yesterday and they're winning again tonight, so they'll be 15-2. So they're getting themselves a nice little cushion here to start the season, kind of like what the Yankees did last year.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. They just got to keep it up, and then they got to carry that over into the playoffs. They can't let it disappear like the Yankees did last year in the playoffs.
Yep, exactly. Now, other than that, it's kind of there's a couple, I would say, really bad teams out there. The A's are 3-14 to start the year. Rockies haven't been good out in the West. They're 5-12. Royals are awful too. They're 4-13. But the AL East is strong. I mean, you got the Yankees, Orioles, Blue Jays, the Red Sox, who got off to a bit of a slow start. They won 3 out of 4 against the Angels over the weekend. They're back to 8-9, although they're losing right now to the Twins. So yeah, I mean it's early in the season still. But yeah.
Yeah, man, we just gotta wait and see as the season goes on to see what else happens.
Sure. Yeah, it's early. You just like I said, you just want to kind of want to get out of April with no blood. You kind of like 500 or better, and then kind of see how your team kind of starts to play out from there.
Oh yeah, and then on to the NHL. We got the NHL playoffs already kicked off. I mean, some of tonight's game, we got the Rangers versus the Devils. The Lightning versus the Maple Leafs. The Jets versus the Golden Knights. The Kraken versus the Avalanche. Those are game ones kicking off tonight. Then we got some other game ones last night. We had the Islanders and the Hurricanes. The Panthers and the Bruins. Bruins took that first game. The Wild versus the Stars. Minnesota took that game, and then the Kings versus the Pillars, and the Kings took that game. So ultimately, I don't think I'm really seeing any surprises as far as game ones.
I would say that Oilers losing to the Kings in OT was kind of a stunner. Oilers finished the season extremely hot, and have the best player in the world, Connor McDavid. and they were up 2-0 and they were up 3-1, and they lost that game in OT. So I'd say that was like the one, I think, big upset from day one of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I guess the Wild beating Dallas is kind of an upset too, but I don't see it as big of one, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just me. And then yeah, tonight we got like you said, the Rangers wagon
Yep.
getting going in New York tonight. And the Lightning are pounding on the Maple Leafs here. And again, Toronto hasn't won a playoff series, I think, in 2004.
It's been a while.
So they have a good team, but they just haven't been able to do anything. Then you got like you said, you got the Avalanche and the reigning Stanley Cup champions kicking off tonight against Seattle, and then the other favorite in the West, the Golden Knights, against the Winnipeg Jets. Should be a good battle there.
Yeah, it's all gonna be fun to watch. Definitely looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and then some of those second round matchups if things pan out. So.
Yeah, I think the nice thing, the thing I like about hockey is they reseed. So the Bruins will, if they move on, they would get the lowest ranked team that's left. So I like how they do that. Actually, do they do that still? I have to look. Since they went to the two divisions, I'm not sure. They might not. They might either play. Yeah, I don't think they do actually. So I think if they win, that they would play the winner of the Maple Leafs Lightning series. I think that's how it works now. They used to reseed. I don't know if they still do or not. I gotta check on that.
No, yeah, I think they got the Lightning. Yeah, the Lightning and
I think they stay within division for that.
Yeah, they got the winner of the Lightning and Maple Leafs, and then they got freaking the winner of the freaking Rangers and Devils play the winner of freaking
Carolina.
Yeah, and the Islanders. So it's like they got like 3 New York teams in the same damn bracket.
That's funny.
So it's definitely gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah. No, there was actually PGA. So they did they had some news coming out of the PGA. And they had the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head. That's they're famous for that. The red and white lighthouse that sits on the 18 behind the 18 green. And but anyways, it went down into a playoff with Spieth and Matt Fitzpatrick, and Spieth had a putt on the first playoff hole that I thought was going in. I think everyone thought was going in, and it lipped out. So this is one of the elevated events. So the winner got 3.5 million, and Fitzy came back and hit one on the third playoff hole to about 3 inches, and Spieth missed his birdie putt. And that was that. But it was it's a fun course to watch, and it's getting more play. It used to be like kind of a dud because it's right after the Masters and everyone's kind of exhausted, and but now it seems like the PGA was kind of, I don't know if it should be an elevated event, but I think they were trying to get more eyes down there, and just the way it fell out. But you could tell there were some guys that were a bit tired, and the big news of the week was Rory missing the withdrawing from the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't really heard why or what's going on, but it sounds like he may get docked $3 million for missing his second elevated event, and it's just kind of interesting because he was the one that was kind of pushing all this, and telling the guys, if I'm going to be there and Rom's going to be there and Scotty's going to be there, that you need to be there too. And then he was the one that kind of bailed out of this, and I know he's been pretty seems emotionally exhausted, but I mean JT missed the cut and he was there. He was there, Monday, Tuesday, getting ready to go. So I mean, Rory's not the only one who's kind of in this grueling schedule. But this week is the Zurich Classic, which is a team event now. It's kind of an interesting one. They just play it's a 2-man best ball for the weekend, and it's down in New Orleans or outside of New Orleans, but it's always it's an interesting tournament to watch. But a lot of the big names are taking this week off and getting some rest. Again, I think that I forget where they play next week, but you'll have the PGA Championship coming up here in a couple weeks, so it's definitely a grueling run here from now until till through July through the British Open. So got to get your rest where you can, and just be ready to play some golf.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see who participates in the next upcoming events as we lead up to the Open. And it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, so this week I did I got a lot of stuff packed up, so I had to kind of make what I make do with what I had in the fridge. So I did basically like a kind of just a fried chicken cutlet, and then on top of that had cauliflower gnocchi, a mushroom cream sauce. So did the chicken first. People like to do it different ways. I like to do a little flour mixed with grated Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, dredge the chicken in that, do a egg bath, and then do some Parmesan breadcrumbs, fry that all up. So I did that, and then once that was done, used the same pan, deglaze with a little bit of oil, a little bit of white wine, and then I did onion, garlic, shallot, garlic, some more white wine, mushrooms,
Okay.
a little bit of butter, salt, pepper, thyme, and I think that was it. Yeah, and then stirred those all together, got those all going, and then added some heavy cream that I had left over from Easter. So put that in there, and kind of stirred it all up, and then tossed I boiled the cauliflower gnocchi, and then tossed that in the pan as well. Actually, before the cream, so I got that kind of all frying together, and then added the cream in there, and then let it just kind of simmer for 5 minutes, and serve that on top of the chicken.
So you got a nice little mix right there.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Stuff like I said, stuff I had in the fridge, and all I really had to do was grab some mushrooms, and we were good to go.
That's what they call making something out of nothing.
Absolutely.
And then what'd you guys drink that down with?
All right, so went to Heist Brewery. Again, I've done a couple of their beers on here before. They're in the NODA section of Charlotte, kind of I would say the northeast side of Charlotte. I think they're probably the most well-known brewery, or in terms of highest rated beers. They do a variety. They do IPA, stouts, sours.
Okay.
I like them for their IPAs and pale ales are good. Also like their stouts are delicious. But this was a sour that they had on tap. It was called. Sorry, I was looking for the name. I wrote it down here. Pineapple Freeze. So it's
a great name.
I figured you might like that. It kind of like when it pours, it kind of pours.
A little slushy.
Pour a little thick. Yeah, it's not. So I think they do a version of it that's like an actual slushy.
Mm-hmm.
But the name of this one it's just a freeze by name, but it's a smoothie sour. It's got a pineapple puree, toasted coconut, and then vanilla soft serve ice cream powder. So basically, it is a pina colada, but
yeah, I was about to say
in beer form. It's heavy. I think for that, because it's just that smoothie style is a little heavy for me. I like it, but I could probably only do one, maybe two at the most, even though they're delicious. They kind of with all that the pineapple puree, they're just filling more than anything. But overall, it's I could a nice hot day, sitting out by the pool, it's in the backyard barbecue.
Yeah, that was my thoughts.
Yeah, so I'd probably give it an 8.3.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
one of the
I
best
mean,
ones in a while.
yeah, yeah. The only downside is it's 4% ABV, so you might have to sneak a little rum and toss it in there. Give yourself the real pina colada feel. But yeah, overall, it's
Yeah, man, those sounds great. I'm not gonna lie, I might have to get those and freeze them, and then just keep them from
yeah,
like so they like kind of get more thick. Pause. And but mostly for the summer, for like barbecue stuff like that.
oh yeah, it's perfect
Those
for
sounds
that.
great. And then the JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then this week for the BRRs wasn't too much. I actually checked out a few movies. The first one I watched was Blood. I just stumbled across this one. It's about a mom who's divorced, and she like gets her kids to, she gets to watch her kids on the weekend, and what happens is their dog runs off in like the woods, and then comes back, and he bites one of the kids, and then the kid is shows pretty much becomes a vampire. It was interesting little twist because we never seen it with like an animal that bit the kid, but the dog got bit, or so to say, by something in the woods. They don't. The thing is about the only thing about it was I'll probably have to give it like maybe a 5.5. Starts off a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really get into the thing that's in the woods, so you don't really get to see it. The fact that the mom pretty much kind of knows what's going on with the kid, and she she actually works at a hospital, so she's like stealing blood from the hospital to like feed him. But she thinks it's like helping him, but eventually it's like making him more like a vampire. I think it would have been great if we got to see the kid, go on a killing spree as well and do some other things, but it wasn't really. It was more like drama. It was like thriller drama. It wasn't really like any too much. It wasn't really any like gory stuff where like the kid vampire showing off his skills as far as like killing people, doing stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see more of that. I think that would have put the movie in the 7 range if that happened.
Gotcha.
Then I checked out Plane. I went to watch another movie, but then Plane came on for some reason, so I stuck with it. That's the one with the Jared Butler, I think is his name.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, Gerard Butler. But the thing is like, it's not really like a lot of action in the movie, between him and the other guy. So I mean, it's something you can skip. Like they don't really get into the action part until like maybe the movie's maybe till like it's like 30 minutes left in the movie, and he doesn't really do anything. That's the thing. It's just like everybody else is doing stuff. He's kind of just the pilot. Like I thought he would be more of like the person that's participating in action. So which was kind of odd. But this is one of those probably 5.5 type of movies. Low high fives. I mean, probably not gonna crack the 6 range, something you could skip. It wasn't too much. Then the other movie I checked out was the Creed 3. I'll have to give this one a 7 out of 10. It's probably I don't think it was better. I can't really say it was better than the other ones. I kind of felt the movie kind of felt rushed as far as like the guy that he faces, Majors, his character, gets out of jail. They kind of have a history of when they grew up, and he wanted to be a boxer, but he obviously went to jail because some stuff happened, and he kind of like his first fight, he kind of, as I said, it's fast tracked as far as like he comes out of jail. His first fight is for the heavyweight championship. So it's just like, all right, this guy ain't put in no work. He ain't fight no other people. He just went straight out of jail to fight in the champ. Like that was kind of unrealistic about it. But maybe they had to do that to get to the part where he fights Creed, which is Michael B. Jordan's character. So I mean, that was one of the things I would say I didn't like about it. But that might have been it. It was an okay movie, man. Something you could watch if you watch the other two. I don't think it's better than the other two, though. I think the first one is probably the best one. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go from here. Whether he's still fighting for another one because he's kind of retired, or if they kind of fast forward to his daughter who wants to be a boxer now.
Gotcha.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they went that route. And then outside of that, I don't think there was anything I checked out as far as movies. But I
You gotta
mean,
get
we
the
have.
you gotta get the Super Mario Brothers so we can get the review on that.
Oh yeah. From what I'm hearing, I'm hearing the same thing you said, man. And like the Bowser was great. The movie is okay. Everybody said
Yeah,
everybody said it was okay.
it's kind of like scattered. It's all over the place. But Bowser's Jack Black was great. I mean, they got good actors, and you got Jack Black, Chris Pratt, Seth Rogen at Donkey Kong was pretty good.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong was all right, and Toad was kind of funny, but yeah, Bowser carries it, and yeah, you gotta watch it, and we'll give it the review.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I'm trying to get on the latest Scream, and there's another movie I was trying to watch. 65. So I'm trying to get to those before I got to Mario. So, but I'll definitely be checking them out.
Nice.
Then for TV shows, we had Love Is Blind wrap up. They finally gave us the rest of the season, and this reunion that was delayed. Man, how'd you feel about it, man?
What part of it?
Well, how'd you feel about the weddings? Because that was the first part.
Yeah. So kind of went as how I expected it to go. I felt like Paul and Micah were never going to get married. I didn't know which. I didn't know because of what. I felt like he wasn't thrilled with the whole Arizona thing to begin with, and I don't know. He just didn't seem sold on her friends either, or her friends. You know, she just seems like a little immature and whatever. But I that one I didn't think was gonna happen. I wasn't sure on Chelsea and Kwame. I just couldn't get a read from Kwame. Obviously, she was all in.
Hmm.
And apparently he was too. You know, you listen to the reunion. I think that Netflix does do a good job of kind of either overplaying some items or underplaying some items
Yeah, like misleading.
to make for some good TV because I think we felt like Kwame and Micah had something going during after the
The pairing.
yeah and it I think they were both kind of totally out on each other. It seems like. I mean, obviously they had some things that they needed to tie up, but nothing. There was nothing more than that. It seemed like. I think is it Brett and I forget her name. I always forget her name. But his
Um,
girl there. That one I felt like that was probably the most solid relationship out of everybody.
yeah,
And then Bliss and Zach. I was probably like 75% sure that was gonna go through.
yeah,
Um, I wasn't totally sure where her head was at. But obviously, I just kept going back to if she got herself back into the show
yeah.
and said yes to the proposal, like why would she do that if she didn't want to marry him? What's the point? So but yeah, I think that it just about ended pretty much what I expected.
Oh yeah, probably their best season so far as couples making it through. But the main thing is we're gonna have to wait and see if they last.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, they through all three of them made it a year, so I guess that's a good start.
so yeah, so that was a crazy thing too. I was like, it was like, oh yeah, they're talking about, oh yeah, so like a year. It's been a year. I was like, wow, it's been that long since they filmed.
Yeah, so they do that every year. So every year the reunion's a year after.
It didn't
'Cause
seem like it was the last
it was both seasons. The first two seasons were as well because they like to they want to give you kind of like a rundown on what what's gone on. If they want to kind of give you the like, oh yeah, this is what happened over the last year kind of deal, and just see if it lasts. I think that's how they did the first season. They were just like they stuck to that. But yeah, getting to that reunion, which was a debacle on Sunday night.
yeah.
I was under the assumption that it was like live. It wasn't really live. It was already pre-recorded, but they were trying to, I guess, start the stream at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., 8 p.m. and they
Yeah.
couldn't, for whatever reason, figure out how to do it, which is kind of mind-boggling. Apparently, they can only drop episodes at 12:01, and that's it. That's all Netflix knows how to do. but I thought I didn't watch the whole thing. I know you did, but I once I got through Irina, I was pretty much done. I just wanted to see what she was all about, and then I was pretty much done. I do agree with Zach. She was totally on that show just to try to get famous, and that was absolutely it. And I hope she she got what she wanted out of that.
Oh yeah. Like I said, the reunion really wasn't much. You're really not missing much. I was disappointed in the questions they asked Jackie and the new guy.
Yeah, I
I mean,
see that. Jackie and Josh.
yeah, I mean, I was really disappointed that it wasn't. It didn't seem like they were like trying to get into it with them, like to see what was going on. And then, like pretty much, like we kind of thought a lot of the other couples that were going to make it made it, and it wasn't really much. I said it wasn't really much drama, so to say. Like, oh, gotta stay tuned. So
I don't think they asked them good questions. I was just like listening to and I kept turning to Michelle and be like, why don't they like ask them like something else? But maybe they know stuff that we don't know. I don't know. I felt like they don't really, like you said, they don't really ask any controversial questions or anything.
yeah, I mean, they asked Mitchell some stuff about Jackie, but
Marshall.
Marshall, but he was explaining that she was posting stuff on social media too, so which kind of filled in the holes. But I don't think I followed her on social media, so and I wasn't going to go check it out. So I thought they could ask some more stuff about that for the people that didn't follow along with that. But
Right.
like I said, overall the reunion really was lackluster. It wasn't really like you were missing anything. There wasn't any like plot twist or any crazy drama thing, drama scenes or anything with anybody. It's kind of what we expected to happened, and hopefully they can switch that up for next season.
Yeah.
And then outside of shows, I mean, that was really it. I don't think I watched anything else.
Nope. Oh, I did. I'm all caught up on Yellow Jackets. I'm up to date on season 2. Starting to get some more answers in season 2, which is good.
Okay, that means I'll start watching now.
Yeah.
I was trying to catch up on Succession, and there's another show I was trying to catch up. I forget which one it was, but I'm way behind in Succession. So
yeah, so am I.
And then that's pretty much it, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.